How did people heat their homes during medieval winters? 2 hours of relaxing history. Hello guys, today we will know about how ordinary people lived through the long cold winters during the late 14th century. This narration is meant to move slowly, gently, and quietly. It is meant to help you rest and drift toward sleep. Outside, the night settles early in the winter months. Darkness comes before the final bell of the day. A thin fog hangs low over the narrow streets. There is no hurry here, only time passing. The city rests beside the wide river. Its waters move slowly in the cold air. Wooden bridges creak under passing feet. And the stone walls hold the chill of many winters. The streets are narrow and closely built. Cobbled stones shine faintly with dampness. Small oil lamps glow near doorways. Their light weak, but steady. Footsteps echo softly. Carts roll slowly. Horses breathe clouds into the night air. The sounds are muted, as if wrapped in wool. Homes press close together, leaning inward, sharing walls. Most are built of timber and plaster, with low ceilings and narrow rooms. Inside these houses warmth is precious. It must be made. It must be guarded. It must be shared. At the center of each home is the hearth. A shallow stone hollow set into the floor or wall. Here the fire burns. Slow, patient, enduring. The fire is fed with wood or charcoal. Sometimes with small pieces of coal brought from distant pits. Coal is harsh, smoky, but strong against the cold. Its smell lingers in clothes and hair. Smoke does not rise easily. Chimneys are simple, often poorly shaped. Smoke curls along beams, darkening the rafters over many years. Families live close to the fire. Sleep close to it. Work close to it. Their lives circle its fading warmth. Benches are pulled near the hearth. Low stools rest close together. Children sit on the floor wrapped in worn cloth. Hands stretched toward the glow. The fire is not large. Fuel is costly. Each piece is chosen carefully. Nothing is wasted. Ashes are saved. Embers are banked at night. Coals are buried beneath gray dust, so they may live until morning. At dawn the house is cold again. Breath shows faintly in the dim room. The fire must be coaxed back to life. With care and patience. The house smells of smoke and damp wood. Of wool and earth. Of yesterday's meal. These scents linger gently. Meals are simple. Thick bread baked dark and heavy. Porridge made from oats or barley. Sometimes a little meat, rarely fresh. The pot hangs above the fire, suspended from an iron hook. It warms slowly. Never rushed. Women tend the hearth. Stirring, watching, listening. They know the fire's moods. Its needs. Men return from work chilled to the bone. From the river, the fields, the streets. They warm their hands first. Then their faces. Clothing is plain and worn. Layers of wool, patched and repaired. Cloaks pulled tight around shoulders. Hats drawn low. Shoes are thin. Often damp. Feet ache with cold. Fires offer brief relief. Children help as they can. Carrying small sticks. Sweeping ashes. Watching younger ones. Some attend charity schools, where they learn letters and prayers. Rooms there are cold as well. A single fire shared by many. Work continues even in winter. Bakers rise before dawn. Their ovens burn hot, providing rare warmth. Blacksmiths stand near roaring fires, hammering iron. Their shops glow orange at night, drawing quiet admiration. Street laborers haul goods, clear waste, guide carts through tight spaces. Their hands stiff with cold. Markets remain open, though smaller, quieter. Stalls are covered with cloth. Goods are fewer. Vegetables are dried or salted. Meat preserved when possible. Fish comes from the river, sometimes frozen at the edges. Carts creak under heavy loads. Horses move slowly. Their breath steams in the air. Bells jingle faintly. As evening returns, the city settles again. Doors close early. Shutters are drawn. Inside the homes the fire is fed once more. Just enough to last the night. People gather close, sharing stories in low voices. There is no bright light, only flame and shadow. Faces glow and fade. Time stretches gently. Beds are simple. Straw mattresses laid on wooden frames, sometimes shared by many. Curtains hung to keep warmth in. Sleep comes fully clothed. Cloaks pulled close. Caps worn even at rest. Cold is never far away. The fire dims. Embers glow softly. Silence grows deeper. The city breathes slowly. Outside, fog thickens. The river moves without sound. Lamps flicker in the distance, then disappear. Night guards walk their rounds, boots tapping stone. They pause near warm shops, then move on. In the poorest homes there is no fire at all. People huddle together, sharing body heat, waiting for morning. Churches offer some shelter. Stone walls cold, yet safe. Candles burn faintly. Prayers echo softly. Winter stretches long. Days pass quietly. Each fire a small victory. Each morning earned. Snow sometimes falls, settling on rooftops, melting into dark streets, making the cold deeper. Still the hearth remains, steady and patient, a center of life, unchanging. The fire warms hands, dries clothes, cooks food, and offers comfort. It is never taken for granted. It is watched, respected, protected. As the hours drift onward, the embers sink lower. Breathing slows. Sleep deepens. The city rests. Homes lean together. Fires fade to red. And winter holds quietly. The night grows still. Very still. Only warmth remembered. Only embers remaining. The night continues slowly. And the cold remains patient. It does not hurry. It waits. Inside the houses the air grows heavier. Smoke lingers near the ceiling. Wooden beams are darkened by years of fire. Each mark tells of another winter past. In many homes the hearth is not wide. Only a narrow opening in stone. The flame stays low. Protected from sudden drafts. Fuel is stored carefully. Bundles of wood stacked against damp walls. Charcoal kept dry in sacks. Coal pieces wrapped in cloth. Children are warned not to waste it. Small hands learn early. Every stick matters. Every ember has value. In the poorer streets, where houses press even closer, smoke from many hearths mixes outside, creating a constant haze. The smell of burning coal is sharp. It clings to breath and clothing. Yet it brings warmth stronger than wood. And so it is endured. Some families share fires. Neighbors opening doors briefly. Passing embers wrapped in ash. A quiet act of trust. Walls between houses are thin. Warmth travels slowly through timber. One fire helps many. Without words spoken. Floors are packed earth or rough boards. Cold beneath bare feet. Straw is spread for insulation. Renewed when it rots. Animals are sometimes brought inside. A goat, a chicken. Their bodies adding warmth. Their presence accepted. In winter mornings the streets awaken late. Hands numb as doors open. People move stiffly. Wrapped in layers of wool. Water is fetched from wells. Often crusted with ice. Buckets scrape against stone. Slow and careful. Fires are rekindled quickly. To warm hands before work. To soften yesterday's bread. To stir the morning porridge. The porridge thickens slowly. Steam rises gently. Bowls are held close. Shared quietly. Workshops begin their labor. Weavers sit near small fires. Their fingers moving stiffly. Thread passing softly. Cobblers warm leather by the hearth. Making it pliable. The smell of hide and smoke mixing. Filling the room. In bakeries the heat is intense. Ovens glow deep red. Bread bakes through the night. Feeding the streets at dawn. Children sent on errands linger near these doors. Soaking in the warmth. Faces flushed. Eyes half closed. Street sellers stamp their feet. Calling softly. Hands tucked into sleeves. Waiting for buyers. Markets feel smaller in winter. Voices lower. Movement slower. People hurry only to warmth. Cloth merchants wrap their goods tightly, protecting them from damp. Wool hangs heavy, dark with moisture. Carters guide wagons carefully. Wheels slip on frost. Horses strain quietly. Steam rising from their backs. By midday the cold has not eased. Sunlight is weak. It offers light but little heat. Fires remain the true comfort. In homes women mend clothing. Seated close to the hearth. Needle flashing briefly in firelight. Thread pulled slow and sure. Children recite lessons softly. Letters scratched on wax tablets. Breath fogging the air. Attention drifting. Older folk sit quietly. Hands folded near the glow. Stories remembered. Spoken only when needed. As daylight fades again. Fires are tended once more. Fuel measured carefully. Night is long. Shutters close early. Cloth is stuffed into cracks. To keep the cold wind out. Small efforts matter. Supper is warmed. Leftovers stretched thin. Broth poured carefully. Nothing wasted. The fire burns lower now. Steady and calm. Casting long shadows. Time slows again. Outside the city quiets. Sound softened by cold. Even the river seems slower. As if resting. Families gather close. Sleep draws near. Embers glow gently. And warmth is held. The winter night continues. Unbroken. Patient. And quiet. The hours pass without sound. The fire breathes softly. Embers shift and settle. Their light faint but living. In the deeper parts of the night. Cold presses harder against the walls. Wood contracts and creaks. As if the house itself were breathing. Some wake briefly. To add a single stick. To turn an ember. To guard the warmth. Hands move carefully. So the flame does not leap too high. So fuel is not wasted. So smoke does not thicken. In many homes a small metal cover rests nearby. Placed over the coals at night. Slowing their hunger. Keeping life within the ash. Sleep returns slowly. Bodies curled inward. Sharing blankets and breath. The fire never fully forgotten. Before dawn the city is still. No bells. No carts. Only distant water and wind. When morning comes it comes gently. A pale light through small windows. Frost tracing the edges of glass. Cold waiting faithfully. The hearth is stirred again. Ashes parted with care. A faint red glimmer appears. Life returning. Dry kindling is added. Blown upon softly. Flame answers slowly. Never rushed. Smoke rises. Curling along the ceiling. Finding its way out. Leaving warmth behind. Children wake first. Faces drawn close to the fire. Sleep still heavy in their eyes. Hands held out. They are sent to fetch water. To carry scraps. To sweep the floor. Small tasks done quietly. Adults dress in layers. Each garment stiff with cold. Wool pulled close. Laces tied slowly. Bread from the previous day is warmed. Hard edges softened by heat. Porridge reheated. Steam welcomed. The fire is never left alone. Even when work calls, someone watches it. Always. In some houses a fire is carried outside. Embers placed in a clay pot. Taken to a workshop. Warmth traveling with its keeper. At building sites small braziers glow. Workers pause beside them. Hands thaw briefly. Before labor resumes. Stone walls absorb cold deeply. Fires struggle against them. Yet persistence matters. Slow warmth builds. In alleyways smoke drifts upward. Marking each living home. A sign of life. And endurance. The poorest rely on shared spaces. Taverns. Bakeries. Church porches. They linger where heat spills outward. Not lingering too long. Just enough to continue. Church interiors are vast and cold. Yet candles offer a gentler warmth. People gather near them. Quietly praying. Clerks and scholars write with numbed fingers. Ink thickened by cold. Fires small and controlled. Parchment protected. Midday brings little change. Winter holds steady. Sun weak behind clouds. Fires remain the heart. In homes meals are planned around warmth. Pots left near the hearth. Simmering slowly. Ready when needed. Children learn to respect the fire. Not to fear it. Not to waste it. It is a teacher. As evening approaches again, the cycle repeats. Fuel counted. Embers banked. Doors close early once more. Streets empty. Lamps flicker. Fog returns. Inside the glow softens faces. Conversation fades. The fire settles low. Night comes gently. Cold presses close. But warmth remains. Quietly. Held at the center of the home. The night deepens again. And the fire lowers its voice. Embers rest beneath pale ash. Holding their breath. Wind moves through the streets outside. Slipping between timber walls. Testing every crack. Every loose board. Inside, cloth is pressed into gaps. Old rags, bits of wool. Small defenses against the cold. Carefully placed. The hearth gives little light now. Only a dull red pulse. Shadows barely move. Sleep grows heavier. Some wake without knowing why. The body sensing the chill. A hand reaches out. Touches warmth. No words are spoken. The fire is tended silently. A single coal turned. Nothing more. Above, smoke stains tell old stories. Layer upon layer of winters. Each one survived. Each one remembered. Beams creak softly as the house settles. Timber shrinking in the cold. Sounds familiar. Not feared. In crowded dwellings breathing overlaps. Many bodies close together. Shared warmth builds slowly. A quiet comfort. Straw mattresses shift slightly. Dust rising faintly. Blankets pulled tighter. Sleep returns. Toward morning, cold sharpens again. This is its strongest hour. When fires are weakest. And patience is tested. Some homes lose their embers. The hearth goes dark. Morning will be colder there. Work harder. In other homes, a glow survives. Protected carefully through the night. A small triumph. Felt deeply. When first light finally comes. It is gray and thin. Hardly warmer than night. But welcomed. Roosters call faintly. Far apart. Echoing down empty streets. Life stirring again. The hearth is opened fully. Ashes pushed aside. A flame answers slowly. Smoke rising once more. Children crouch close. Faces pale in dawn light. Hands stiff. Waiting. Breakfast is prepared quietly. No rush. Porridge thickened slowly. Bread warmed carefully. The warmth spreads little by little. Into fingers. Into joints. Into breath. Outside, doors open again. Smoke rises anew. The city exhales. Winter continues. The fire has done its work. Not loudly. Not fully. But faithfully. And so the day begins. As all winter days do. With cold remembered. And warmth carefully made. Morning settles into the streets. Slowly, without promise of warmth. The cold remains steady. Unmoved by the light. People step outside wrapped tightly. Cloaks pulled close. Heads lowered against the wind. Movement careful. Smoke rises from many roofs. Thin lines against the gray sky. Each one marking a living hearth. Each one a small victory. In workshops fires are fed again. Not for comfort alone. But for work. For survival. The blacksmith's forge burns hottest. Iron glows briefly. Sparks scatter. Then fade. Nearby, smaller trades keep modest flames. Tanners warm stiff hides. Brewers heat water slowly. Steam drifting low. Inside homes the hearth remains watched. Never abandoned. Even when the house empties. Someone stays behind. Elderly folk sit near the fire. Hands extended. Eyes half closed. Guardians of the embers. Children return from errands chilled. They pause just inside the door. Absorbing warmth. Before moving again. Midday meals are plain. Leftover porridge. Bread dipped in broth. Shared quietly. The fire warms the pot more than the room. Heat is precious. Directed carefully. Never wasted. Clothing dries slowly by the hearth. Damp wool steaming faintly. The smell of smoke clinging. Familiar and constant. Outside, Carts grind over stone. Hooves strike frost. Voices remain low. Winter mutes all things. Market stalls thin as the day wears on. Sellers retreat early. Seeking shelter. Seeking fire. As light begins to fade again. Fuel is counted once more. Bundles inspected. Choices made. Not every fire will last the night. Some will be allowed to die. Hope placed in shared warmth. And layered cloth. Doors close before darkness fully falls. Lamps are lit briefly. Then dimmed. Oil saved. Supper is eaten close to the hearth. Bowls warmed first. Hands steady. Movements slow. The fire lowers again. Settling into its evening state. Embers glowing gently. Patient. Outside the city quiets once more. Fog returns to the streets. Sounds soften. Distance grows. Inside, bodies draw closer. Sleep approaches without hurry. The hearth holds its last light. And winter waits. The evening deepens quietly. And the warmth becomes smaller. Yet it remains. Steady and known. Families speak less now. Words feel heavy. Silence feels kinder. The fire understands. A final piece of fuel is placed. Chosen with care. Meant to last. Not to flare. The hearth answers softly. A low red glow. No sparks. No sound. Faces fade into shadow. Features softened by dim light. The room feels smaller. Closer. Outside, footsteps grow rare. A distant cart passes. Then nothing. Only the night. Wind brushes the walls again. But inside the air is still. Thick with warmth. And sleep. Children drift first. Breath evening out. Hands relaxing. Dreams beginning. Adults follow slowly. Bodies tired from cold and labor. Eyes closing. Trust placed in embers. The fire is watched one last time. Then left alone. Ash settling gently. Protecting what remains. Hours pass unnoticed. Time stretches. Winter holds. But does not enter. In the quietest moment before dawn. The house feels suspended. Between cold and warmth. Between dark and light. The embers breathe faintly. Almost gone. Yet alive. Enough. Soon, morning will come again. And hands will reach for heat. And the cycle will begin. Once more. For now. The night rests. The fire sleeps. And the city remains. Silent. The night loosens its hold very slowly. Not with warmth. Only with time. Cold still presses at the walls. But inside the house it feels distant now. Kept away by habit. By patience. Somewhere an ember shifts. Barely visible. A quiet reminder. that the fire has not forgotten. Breathing fills the room. Soft, even. Many breaths becoming one. Steady and calm. Outside, the fog thins slightly. Streets remain empty. Stone holds the night's chill. Unchanged. In the far distance a bell will soon sound. Not yet. Only the waiting before it. The deepest stillness. Roofs drip faintly. Frost loosening. Water touching stone. Then silence again. Inside the hearth rests completely. Ash unmoving. Heat hidden beneath. Protected by care. This is how winter is endured. Not with strength, but with quiet repetition. Night after night. The house remains closed. Curtains still drawn. Sleep unbroken. For a little longer. Soon hands will rise. Stiff and searching. Seeking warmth once more. As they always do. But for now. Nothing is required. No tending. No movement. Only rest. Only stillness. Only the slow passing of winter night. The stillness holds. Unbroken. As if the city itself is sleeping. Deeply. Inside the houses the air feels settled. Heavy with night. Warmth remembered rather than felt. Yet comforting. Ash rests thick over the hearth. A soft gray blanket. Hiding what little heat remains. Kept safe. No one rises yet. Sleep clings gently. Bodies remain still. Saving strength. Outside the streets are empty. Cobbled stones dark with damp. No carts. No voices. The river moves unseen. Slow beneath the dark. Its sound barely reaching the walls. A distant murmur. In narrow alleys moisture gathers. Dripping softly from eaves. Each drop measured. Each sound brief. The cold waits patiently. It does not force its way in. It knows the hour is late. And change will come. Inside, breath warms the small rooms. Shared air growing gentle. Layers of wool rising and falling. In quiet rhythm. This moment belongs to no one. Not to work. Not to fire. Not today. It is the pause between nights. The soft edge of time. Where winter rests. And nothing is asked. Soon enough the cycle will return. Hands will stir ashes. Flames will answer. And warmth will be made again. But now, the house remains still. The city remains silent. And the night fades. Very slowly. The light begins to change. So slowly it is hardly noticed. Darkness thinning. Without warmth. A pale gray touches the window. Not sunrise. Only the promise of it. Still distant. The house remains quiet. Sleep deep and unbroken. The fire only a memory. Beneath ash. Cold rests in corners. Along the floor. near the door. Waiting. Breath rises and falls. Steady, familiar. Filling the small room with life. Outside, the city stirs faintly. Not with sound, but with readiness. An unspoken knowing. Somewhere far away, a rooster calls once, then stops, as if unsure. The river shifts in the dimness. Slow water against stone. Unchanged by night or day. Patient. Inside the hearth does not move. It has done enough for now. It rests. As people rest. This is the gentlest hour. When nothing demands attention. When winter loosens its grip. Just slightly. Soon, very soon. Hands will reach for warmth again. Ashes will part. Embers will breathe. But not yet. Not now. For this moment. The house holds its stillness. The city holds its breath. And the night releases itself. Quietly. The gray light lingers. Not growing. Not fading. Simply present. It rests upon the walls. Upon the floor. Upon closed eyes. Without urgency. The cold remains gentle now. No sharper than before. No kinder either. Only constant. Inside the house nothing moves. Sleep stretches on. Breathing steady. Slow and deep. The hearth lies silent. Ashes smooth and undisturbed. Their warmth hidden. Forgotten for a while. Outside the streets remain empty. Lamps long gone dark. Fog thinning into air. Leaving stone bare. Somewhere a door creaks softly. Not opened. Only settling. Wood answering time. The city feels suspended. Between what has been. And what will return. Soon. Winter does not speak. It only waits. And so do the houses. And the people within. This quiet hour belongs to rest. To stillness. To the slow passing of night. Into day. Nothing asks for warmth yet. Nothing stirs the fire. Everything remains. As it is. And so the moment holds. Unbroken. Calm. And softly fading.